Hi everyone, we are happy to see you all here today. How's everyone doing?
Good, good.
Good, good.
Hi,
Good.
Farida. We are good.
Good.
How are you?
Yes, we are good, Miss Lisa. Thank you. Okay, without further ado, I want you guys to know the purpose of our gathering today. And I want to give a short intro or can be the objective of this moment. Okay, today we have guests from other state to developing our understanding of other culture or let us have more meaningful interactions with those around us. We are going to binding respect and empathy for other people and celebrating their differences as well as our similarities. All right, without any delay, let's start our program today and I give it to Mr. Asliza.
Thank you, Tari. Today I'm very excited to introduce our special guest panelists who hail from the beautiful Thousand Island in the Philippines, Mr. Eric Sapurna.
Welcome, Mr. Eric Sampuna. Nice to meet you here today. I'm Tari. I am the FST student. Today we are here to learn about your country and culture that you have learned. And we also have some questions by our friends and need a declaration from you.
Hi, everyone. I
Eric,
say,
Hi.
hi. Can everybody
Hello.
hear me clearly?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
We
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. That's
Okay.
clear.
Hi, everyone. I say mabuhay. So this is
Kamusta
our
ka?
welcoming. This is our welcoming word whenever somebody visits us or something like that from any country. So we say mabuhay. So my name is Eric, and I come from the Philippines, especially in the Greater Manila area. So I'm not from the capital, but it's just like 30 minutes away from Manila, the capital. And I studied Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, but I ended up here in UAE in the medical and insurance department or the hospital industry. So yeah, as Lisa was right, I come from the 7,600 islands, and the Philippines, like, an archipelago as well, same as like the Indonesia. So I am so glad, and I was so excited when has Lisa informed me about this panel thing. I'm quite nervous because it's about my country, and I have to use also the stock knowledge that I have in my brain. And I'm so ready. Come on, bring it on. That's all. And I really appreciate, like, you guys, this kind of rehearsal and effort. I'm so excited to meet all you up and to have some conversations.
Okay,
Yeah,
Goku,
glad
Mhm.
to
bring it
meet you, Eric.
on.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, I'm Mr. Eric.
Yeah.
So
Hi.
I'm Gokulan and can call me Goku. So actually, I'm a
Goku
BIA
of
student.
the Japanese cartoon. Okay.
Yeah. Something like that. So, Mr. Eric, so based
Mm-hmm.
on our understanding, so
Yeah.
a language is a form of written communication that is used by the inhabitants of a certain nation or region for speaking and writing. So it is made up of a set of sounds. So as we all know, at least one language. And some people try to speak more than one due to difficulty and length of the effort learning a language, which calls
Mm-hmm.
for commitment, perseverance, and hard work. So based on that, my question will be: what language do you speak in Philippines, and what do you find so hard about the language, Mr. Eric?
Yeah. Okay. So I'd like to inform you guys that the Philippines, we don't have just one language, but we do have a major language, which is Tagalog, but we do have some, we call it also other languages, or we call it also, like, in general, as a dialect. So right now I can only speak two languages, which is Filipino, or what we call Tagalog, and the other one, of course, is English, which is the second language in the Philippines. On the other hand, if I go to other parts of the Philippines, I might be like you guys. I might not understand what they're going to say. So the difficulty of this one is the diversity of the Filipinos. We do have lots of dialects for each region in the Philippines. So I might not understand, their language or their dialect, and this is the difficult part of it. Learning them will also take time. If I was born in their region, I might acquire and get that language as well. But as of now, up at this age, it may take time also to learn that language. So that is the difficulty, the diversity of the Philippines in terms of language or dialects. We do have, I think, more than 100 dialects in the Philippines.
So, so
Mhm.
it's like one whole country. They are divided by some certain part that
Yeah,
communicate with other languages.
yeah, you're right.
Okay, Mr. Eric.
Mhm.
Okay. Let us go to a second question from me. So, is it
Uh-huh.
okay to talk about religion? Is it okay for you?
Sure. Yeah, no problem at
So
all.
basically,
Mm.
okay. So religion is a body of organized ideas, customs, and institutions that typically have something to do with belief and adoration of a supreme power, such as a
Yeah,
personal god or other supernatural being. So
yeah.
in Philippines, what is Philippines known for a religion? And is there only
Mm-hmm.
any other religion mostly can be seen in Philippines, Mr. Eric?
Okay, as per the demographic information that I have right in front of me, so the religion that we do have is the Roman Catholicism, or we are called. I'm also one of that, the member of that, the Roman Catholics, which is I think as of now is 80% of that religion in the Philippines is Roman Catholic, and then we have this kind of subdivision of Christianity in the Philippines, and we do have also Islam and Hindu and some Buddhist as well, Buddhism as well. So these are the, I think in the order is like 80% Roman Catholic. Next one is the subdivision of that Roman Catholic, which is Christian, and the next is Islam, and the rest is like Hindu and Buddhism. I mean Hinduism and Buddhism, something like that. So predominantly we are really Roman Catholic. Hmm. So that's it. And yeah, we are very open-minded
Okay,
actually
Mr.
regarding that. So we coexist, although we do have lots of differences, and especially in religion, but we coexist and we are living harmoniously. Mhm. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Eric. Actually, thank you
Mhm.
for the answer. I
Mhm.
really appreciate that your talk are very openly to us.
Mhm.
Okay, let's move on to Ms. Tari, please.
Thank you, Mr. Eric, for your briefing. We still have
Yes.
more questions to ask. Shall we continue?
Okay, sure.
Okay, give it to Shamana.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Eric. I'm
Hi,
Shamala.
Shamana.
I- I'm a BCA student. Okay.
Mhm.
And as we know, the Filipina has a rich and diversified culture heritage, and have some of the main civilization, such as civilization of Austronesia, the
Mhm.
civilization of Indo-Buddha, the
Mhm.
civilization of Islam, the civilization of Spain, and finally the civilization of America, which have contribute significantly to the formation of Philippine civilization. So my question to
Mhm.
you, Mr. Eric, what
Mhm.
culture influence did the Austronesia civilization provide to the Philippines?
Okay, so if we are going to talk about what do you call this one?
Austronesia.
The Austronesia origin of the Filipinos, the contribution in the civilization of this one is, I can say it's about the survival thing, because Austronesian people are very good at survival way of living, because as you can see it, we say if it is diverse, so in every island in the Philippines or group of islands of the Philippines, there is the Austronesian group, and the contribution that they have given to us and until right now is what we call the resiliency and survival way of living. This I can probably say from this Austronesian origin in the civilization of the Philippines.
Okay, I have to agree with
Mm.
you, Mr. Eric, but the Austronesian civilization have created a good foundation towards the formation of Philippines. So my second question to you,
Mm.
Mr. Eric, which
Okay.
civilization a notable impact on the trade, culture, and civilization of the Philippines?
Actually, for the notable impact on the trade, I must say during the Islamic civilization, because in this era, the trade between the Arabs and even some people in India, before Spain came, there were already existing civilization and exchange of produce or products from Saudi Arabia, something like that, in the Arabic countries in the Middle East, and from India. And also, if I may add, I can also add up the Chinese influence in the Philippines. Because as part of the Philippine history, as far as I can remember, before the Spaniards came to the Philippines, Chinese were already here, and some parts of the Philippines, especially in the southern part and even in the central part of the Philippines, there were already like some people were already having the religion of Islam. Okay, and so that is the thing that I can say, the civilization for the culture and the trade mostly before the Spanish came here in the Philippines, in my country.
Okay, Mr. Eric. And we are
Mm-hmm.
able to see that the culture influence in the Philippines have
Mm-hmm.
created a diversity and dynamic society with a rich blend of native, Asian, and Western elements. So,
Yes.
with this fusion is evident in various aspects of Filipino life, from the religious practice and festival to artistic expression and architecture heritage. So, my
Yeah.
final question to you, Mr. Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how did Islamic civilization contribute to the culture and religious influence in Philippines?
Actually, for the okay, based in our history also, the Islamic contribution, I mean the Islamic civilization contribution in the Philippines, mostly until right now, you can still see and feel that in the southern part of the Philippines. Because in this on that time and in this time right now, still Islamic religion, culture, architectural design, and some festivities or some events are still being practiced or observed in the southern part of the Philippines.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. That's some useful information you give to us,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Eric. And once
Mm-hmm.
again, thank you so much for the wonderful information. I will pass to Miss Alisa.
Okay.
Wow, that is really interesting information. Now I know why Filipino can survive everywhere. Thanks to Indonesia history. Guys, for
Yes.
information, Filipino are everywhere in the world, even in the moon. So they can survive by anywhere, anyhow.
Yes,
Okay,
that.
Eric, I hope you are still up for more question because I got more for
Okay, no
you.
problem.
Rishi, I think you have question for Eric. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you so much, Aliza. Hi, Mr. Eric. It's
Hi.
really glad to meet you, actually. I'm Rishi, by the way, and I was a photographer and graphic designer. And yeah, I ended up being here as a student for graphic design. I'm doing
Okay.
bachelor in graphic design, actually. So yeah, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Eric. So as Shamna mentioned earlier, the Philippines has rich history and diverse cultural heritage that has contributed to the formation of its civilization. And
Mm-hmm.
here are my questions, only three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And my first question will be, how did the indigenous people of the Philippines shape the
Mm-hmm.
country's early civilization?
Okay. So how this actually, if I will tell you a lot of the indigenous people in the Philippines, we have a lot. But the one I'm gonna share with you is something like, it also portrays a very important role now in the tourism industry in the Philippines. So
Okay,
I might say right now in the northern part of the Philippines, this indigenous tribe they are still existing, and they have kept their traditional way of living, and which is, we call them the Igorot tribe. So this is in the
Igorot.
northern part of, yeah, the Igorot tribe, the northern part,
Okay,
in the
Igorot.
northern part of the Philippines. And in the central part of the Philippines, we have this called the small Negrito. If you know the term Negrito, it means like the black people, but they're so
Okay,
small. They have this
okay,
short stature, so they are living in the central part of the Philippines as well. So So they have kept
Okay.
also their traditional way of living. So the other one is the Mangyan, where I grew up with. I can see them also with us living. So these Mangyan people, as of today, their language and their handwritings, the letters and alphabets, they have kept it and they are still using it as of today. And in the
Wow.
southern part of the Philippines,
Until today.
yeah, until today,
Okay.
yeah. Later, I'll give you some trivia as well. And also in the southern part of the Philippines, we do have lots of tribes in there, especially in Zamboanga, in Tawi-Tawi, in Sulu. There are still tribes in there, the indigenous people. Why? Because even the Spanish, Americans, Japanese came to the Philippines, they could not penetrate these tribes that very well. So they have maintained this kind of a way of living. So as I was saying before, the Philippines has a lot of tribes that are still existing. So they
Wow.
are part of
That's great.
our lives, part of our culture and tradition, and you can still visit them and see them
Wow.
wearing their traditional dresses.
Until today. Wow.
Yeah, until today.
That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
great. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really. And what was your tribe's name again? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Uh, what was your tribe's name again?
My
Your
sorry.
tribe. Your tribe name. Your
The tribe
tribe's name.
name, the one is Igorot tribe, the Igorots.
Igorot. Okay.
The other one
Okay.
is Mangyan, and the one that I call this
Mangyan.
the Negrito or the black people is the Aitas.
Okay.
And in the southern, wait, I have to read some part, and because in the southern part, I'm not that familiar with because there are too many. It's because in the southern part there are still many tribes that are existing. We have the Lumads, we have the Badjao. I think these Badjao people are the one right now. I think the National Geographic has also what do you call this one? Has recognized because of their way of living in surviving and diving in the water. Like 15 minutes, they can maximize their lungs to
Wow.
use, under the water. So until right
That
now, we still have this kind of fusion of modernization of living, and we are still seeing them because thanks to these tribes that are keeping their own tradition as well and culture.
wow, wow, that's really great, Mr. Rick. Thank you so much. My second question would be, what were the major kingdoms of societies that emerged in pre-colonial Philippines? Pre-colonial
Yeah, the pre-colonial
Philippines.
Philippines actually, as I said, I think a while ago, there is a pre-colonial Philippines, which is I think the kingdom or the sultanate, which is the religion of Islam. Before the Spain came, this kingdom of several kingdom Islam, we call it Islamic kingdom or the sultanate of kingdom. I think somewhere in Sulu and in Maguindanao, which is the southern part of the Philippines. And until right now, they are existing, and we call them as they are under the government's term ARMM, the autonomous
ARMM.
region.
Oh,
Yeah, the autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao.
whoa,
Mm.
that's
This
really
is
great.
just to actually it's so quite complicated. So our government has decided to have this kind of um government associated group to avoid conflict, as we all know that Mindanao is mostly under Islamic Islamic group.
Oh, it's like a society.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so to speak, as majority is Islamic society.
All right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for the info again, Mr. Rick. And my last question would be, what were the pre-colonial Filipinos' significant cultural, social, and economic practices?
Okay, hold on, I have to. The significant culture of the pre-colonial, right? Of the pre-colonial, actually, the pre-colonial culture of the of the Filipinos before. I think we are still practicing it. At first, I think the survival one. That the first one is the survival way of living. As you know, that our country is always visited by tropical storms. Like maximum is
Topics.
28 typhoons are visiting our country. So we have the survival one, and also we do have the pre-colonial things. I actually we have this. I don't know if it's like in India, the case system. You know the case system we have here.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna give you this majority. Just give me a minute. Okay, so during the pre-colonial, we have this ruling class, the first class. We call them the datu or the leader. The next one
That
is
too.
the yeah datu. The other one is
Yeah. Okay.
maginoo. So this maginoo, we are this one is mostly men, which is of the noble class. Okay,
Okay.
this is the hierarchy of the caste system. Next is the maharlika. So
Maharlika.
Maharlika. These are the strong men. As we all know, the pre-colonial and the old style before, men are more considered than the women. So I'm telling about you the society's status of the men before. So the Maharlika, mostly these are the warrior class, the warrior, the strong men in the society. And we have this Timawa. We call this Timawa. So these are the free men. It means they don't have any masters, they don't have any boss, they are not owned by anyone. So we call this one Timawa. And the last part is we have this Alipin.
Alipin.
Alipin. So we can say that one's like a slave. So this
Okay.
is the lowest part of the caste system. So we do have a two kinds of slaves or alipin. One is namamahay, and the second one,
Namamahai. Okay.
yeah, and the second one is um sagigilid. So namamahay, it's like they are the servers in the house.
Okay.
Sagigilid, it means like they are the all around. They're always on the
Okay.
side. Whenever the
Okay.
Maharlika, the Datu, and the Magino are around, these servers or the Alipin are always around because they have to do some things. So these
They have
are
to
the
serve
pre
every time.
exactly. So that's the way it was before. But of course, as the years pass by, this system will be abolished, has been abolished and redeveloped, readjusted, readapted to what is to what the society has become.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. I gained a lot of knowledge today with this Zoom call. So thank you so much, Miss Eric. So and
Yeah.
yeah, it's really a pleasure to meet you and glad to have you. And then Taya, thank you so much. And Larry,
You're welcome.
After hearing an explanation, I'm now eagerly fly there and immerse myself in the local culture. Okay, now Shubhan has a question for you, Mr. Eric. Shall we?
Uh-huh. Sure, no problem.
I am Mr. Eric. I am Subintran. I am a bachelor in accounting student. So my
Yes.
question is today is what is the technological development in your country?
Mm-hmm.
So the first of all, what is the fastest growing technology industry sector in the Philippines right now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So okay, I can definitely answer that. I think the Philippines has become dominant in BPO. You know BPO?
Oh, I'm not sure.
So
Pio.
the BPO is like this call center thing,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
what you're using in your
Yeah,
headset now.
yeah. Oh,
So
like that. Okay,
yeah, something
okay.
like that. So wait, a BPO industry in the Philippines is booming, or I think we are number one right now in the world
Oh, okay.
because sometimes I can see also, wait, I will just give you. So okay, for your information, business process outsourcing. So
Oh,
this was the
Mhm.
BPO industry. So this is the first one in the Philippines right now. Like if you're in Manila, in Makati, or even in
yeah.
Cebu, in the southern parts, you can see young Filipinos like you guys
Yeah.
are are sorting out for this industry for a while, even though they graduated from different courses like engineering or any types of courses or majors that you have finished. But while you are waiting, these young people or young Filipinos are sorting out to have a temporary job or sometimes like permanent thing now in the BPO industry. Or shall we
Okay.
call it like it's in the call center?
Call center. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for the
Yeah.
information. And my next
Okay.
question is what are the main challenges facing in the Philippines in developing technology sector?
Okay. The first thing first for actually the major difficulty that the BPO industry is experiencing. Hold on, I have research also for that.
Mhm.
Wait, where is it? Okay. So actually, the first issue that the BPO industry has experienced in the Philippines before is the economic security of the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, for this one. Only this one I think for now that matters to them before the difficulty of the economic security. You know, the Philippines has undergone the political instability
Mhm.
since 1986 and onwards.
Till now,
Some
right?
political yeah, some political
Yeah.
leaders and the transition of these leaders have also impacted, and also even the people power that we had before in 1986. Yeah, this one has also impacted our um what's it called, the local security and even the economic security and standard. So that's it
Okay.
only for now.
Okay, so thank you for your information and glad to meet you too.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I will pass the next question to Miss Sarah.
Okay.
Hi,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Eric. My name is Sarah.
Hi, Miss Sarah.
Okay, my question will be what initiatives are taken by the government or the private sector to
Mm-hmm.
accelerate technology development in the Philippines?
Mm-hmm. Actually, right now the government has initiated some programs. It's what we call, I think all over the world now we are going to be having this digitalization, right?
Yeah.
So for the technological thing, the government, especially during the time of our former President Duterte, yeah, he has, I think, initiated the the program for the digitalization of the entire transaction in the Philippines, wherein the new president, President Marcos, he has continued also and connected that program, the initiative of the government for the digitalization. And I think digitalization will really be connected with also in the environment,
Mm-hmm.
wherein we don't have any papers to print out, because if it is digitalized, everything is electronics, right? Electronically made. So this might also like a chain of reaction. So for now, this is the thing that our government is also focusing on for the technology. Of course,
Okay.
aside from the science and technology that we are also our government is trying to go along with big nations with in terms of science and technology. Actually, I just read the news that the Philippines has just launched two small satellites in space
Mm-hmm.
again, which is like cube-like only. So definitely this one will also contribute a lot for the study of the Philippines and the world.
Okay. All right. And if you don't
Mm.
mind, can I add another question?
Sure, sure, no problem.
Do you think that Philippines is high technologically advanced now?
Actually, I am not that really what do you call this one about the ranking, because as far as I know, the wait in 2019, I think we are only ranked in the global innovation index also for technology. We are number, I mean 2016 we are number 74. among other 128 um, countries. In some area, actually, the sad part, should I say sad part? In the Philippines is like, um, there are many talented Filipino scientists and even innovators, but the recognition of our government is not like that much of what they are going to expect from the government. Like there are so many patent products or technological innovations, but sometimes it is not recognized by the government and they tend to go to other countries and being patented there, and that country will claim that. So I can say that Apple company, right? There are
Mm,
some Filipinos behind that,
okay.
and some technology, just like that. Just for example, there are some Filipinos who developed the Apple system, the iOS, and I have
Mhm.
read that, and I'm very proud of it. But of course, the recognition will not be for our country. It's of course from the Apple company and the USA. So right now, I can say like we are trying to survive to be advanced,
Okay.
because I cannot probably say like, for example, the let's just take for example our everyday living of the Wi-Fi signal in the Philippines. Until now, we are not that really fast in terms of the Wi-Fi connection
Mm.
or connectivity. Okay, so I
Okay.
think that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric, for sharing. And I would like to pass the question section to Ashikin.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, hi. My name is
Hi.
Ashikin. Okay.
Hi.
So, Mr. Eric, thank you for your sharing. Now that we have some knowledge of your civilizations and your country's economic status. So now we would
Yeah.
like to ask you about the issues and challenges faces by the countries. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so could you please share with us the most significant challenge or issue that concerns your people and how your
Mm-hmm.
government is addressing these problems?
Okay. The the first one that I can tell is, um shall I say, human rights. Mm. I know that some countries are recognizing the works of our government, especially in the Duterte regime or in his era. They have been questioning the human rights in the Philippines because there is a war on drugs. I know every country has this kind of challenge, and our
Yeah.
president has this kind of iron fist that, I cannot say like a speculation, or I can say that it's like I just heard it or something. But in general, I'd like to commend our former president Duterte, that he has this kind of a strong personality and strong will to alleviate this war on drugs. And in terms of human rights, I know, not directly from his side, but the president has this kind of subordinates, and in these subordinates, he cannot control their minds and hearts without his looks or without him eyeing on them. They have also their own decision, and I know some human rights were violated for that. And another challenge is in the Philippines that I can say from prehistoric is the archipelago nature of the Philippines. We are subdivided, you know. So basically, the another challenge for that, if you are a president of the Philippines, is how to unite them in
Yeah.
one shout. You cannot say that in one shout. Why? Because we are in a different areas. So we really need to have a very clever way of logistic system as well, and through the communication and technology as well, to unite the people among the islands. So this is also another part. And another one is also the language barriers. Although everybody can speak English very well, but you cannot deny the fact that some people are not that educated enough to speak the English language and to understand Tagalog, both some areas also, and some indigenous tribes as well in the Philippines I think there are still some that are less privileged and less the government hasn't really done well yet to focus on the basic needs of these indigenous people all over the Philippines, I must say. Okay, that's it.
All right. So my next question is, what are your thoughts on the government's ability to deliver on its promises?
Actually, right now, okay, from the past president, which is President Duterte, he promised some areas in the Philippines to develop, which is what we call the Build, Build, Build program. So in his regime, President Duterte has launched lots of infrastructure that he really promised that, and he really built. And before he ended his regime, some of the infrastructures were finished. Yeah, we cannot deny the fact that President Duterte also before, he also connected those projects from the former president, which is Ninoy Aquino, Benigno Aquino Jr. And now, right now, since our new president Marcos promised a lot of things as well, so I cannot say that enough that his promises are being materialized yet. Although some are already like we can also feel, but I do hope in the years to come during his reign, because I think we have, I think 4 years. A president in the Philippines has to serve 4 years. 4 years or 5 years, I'm not that quite sure. I might make a mistake about this one, but it's like several years he has to serve, so we can definitely see and say later.
Okay, then
Okay.
thank you, Mr.
Mm.
Eric, for
Mm.
your sharing. Now we pass to Mr. Starry.
Okay.
It was an honor to have you on the panel. We know your time is so precious and we are immensely grateful for you. We are able to carve out time with us. Thank you for helping make this program great success and we look forward to seeing you at the future programs. Mr. Eric, we have another two more friends to question you. Shall we?
Okay. Sure.
So I give it to Adriana and Shafi, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay, hi, Mr. Eric.
Okay.
My name is Shafi.
Hi, hi, hi.
Bachelor in electrical engineering student, and I love the way you answered all the questions. It was so good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
We know Philippines is quite famous for their culture, right? Okay, so
Yeah, I agree.
I'm very interested in knowing more about Philippine culture. Could you please tell me a little bit about Philippines culture?
Okay, the Philippine culture, if I might answer you, I might really answer you only maybe more the less than 10% of it, because we are in a different islands. So in each island there's a lot of existing culture, but I would generalize that. First, I'd like to inform you that we have been colonized by the East and West. So Spain, America, Japan, and some prehistoric colonial past, wherein the Arabs, the Indians, the Chinese, and some Malaysians, or I think also some Indonesians. So in this matter, we are all mixed up. So I also was reading and watching like, what are Filipinos made of? Like, I cannot even answer that. Okay, take myself for an example. My mom's mom or my grandma has this blood of a Spanish, and I could see from her when she was alive. I could still see from her face. But my grandpa died, and I didn't know. There is one picture of him, and I asked my eldest sister, "Who is that Chinese guy?" And I said, "Hey, that's your grandpa." So he was telling me, "That's your grandpa." Oh my God, my grandpa looks like Chinese and my mom looks like Spanish. So we are like in the fusion genetically already. We're all mixed up. So right now, technically, the original Filipinos that I can proudly say to you is like this: the indigenous tribes in the Philippines. They are really like the origins like before the Spain came. Even we do have, like, some people, they say that we look like Mexican. You know, we have this Spanish colonial period. We have this the Acapulco trade. The Acapulco trade is wherein the Mexican people go to the Philippines, and the Philippines exchange some products and go back again to Mexico, because that time Spain also has colonized the Mexican area. So now the culture here, if you want to visit the Philippines, we have this theme. It's more fun in the Philippines, and we'll really live to it. We have the culture of the festivities. You know that in the Philippines, every month there are festivities in each region. Next is of course, the practice of religion, which is the Roman Catholic, where you can also see some of the events and activities, especially Christmas. The Philippines has the longest Christmas celebration, and it might start soon. You know when? September.
Oh,
It's
that's
starting
quite fast.
September. Starting September, you will hear in the radio waves the Christmas carols and Christmas songs, regardless of the Halloween or other occasion. But the Christmas will be celebrated as near as like September. We call this bear months: September, October, November, December.
Ah,
So this is it. Now, if you want to know the Filipinos, we love singing. So in every corner, if you visit my country, you will see in the common streets of the Philippines, or I think they also observe here in the Middle East, in Abu Dhabi, that mostly Filipinos love to sing the karaoke, or what we call now the videoke. So in any corners of the street in the Philippines, we do have passion of singing, and this is what we always do. And the other one is basketball. The Philippines are colonized by America, and we have this kind of addiction in basketball. So in any corners of the Philippines as well, you can see basketball court. Even the area of the basketball court is small. There must be a basketball court.
ah,
So that's it only. And the other one is, um the Philippines loves to eat. We always have celebration of food as well. And I can proudly say, if you visit our country, even if you're a stranger, you will be treated as a family and a special guest. You know, in the Philippines, if you visit one house, you know, we have this, actually until now, we have this special blanket, special pillow, or special things for the guests. This one is reserved. Once you visit us, we will give that to you and you will use it only for you.
wow.
So this kind of number one traits of the Filipinos are being hospitable. The hospitality is in its crazy way. So far, this is, I can really proudly say to you,
Ah,
that
thank
we
you.
are very hospitable.
Thank you for the answer. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got another question for you. In your
Mm-hmm.
opinion, can the cultural uniqueness in this country serve as the keystone for resolving the conflict between political stability and economical growth?
Okay, so it's a very nice question, but it's quite difficult for me to answer, because especially for the political instability, I might say in the political instability, we are under the democratic form of government as well. In some sets of mind of the Filipinos, being democratic, this is also the issue now. Like the freedom of expression,
Mm.
the freedom of doing things without taking the responsibility and some consideration. So this also is giving us some hard time to be a leader in the Philippines, because
Ah,
of the democracy that we're having. Uh, it is, for the record, this is only my own opinion. I do not represent other people, or the majority of the Filipinos, just to make it safe. And the other one is the economic growth. The economic growth, actually, when I was young, I was always informed like this, like, since we were westernized by the Americans, so we always think like, I don't want to buy local products. I don't want to buy this thing. We want from the USA or from other country, but mostly from the USA. So if I was a businessman in the Philippines, I made a very nice product and everything, but it was just made in the Philippines, so I don't buy. So
Oh,
for that kind of thing, very simple. In the economic growth of the Philippines that time was not that really useful. But right now, I can probably say most Filipinos now think like we really have to help our own country by buying our own products, and the economic growth of the Philippines rely on that. And of course, the number one economic growth that the government also could save is me as the Filipinos who are in another country. We are called the OFW, the Overseas Filipino Workers,
mm,
because of the money that we send or the remittance we send to the Philippines in terms of dollars. We could also help our government to at least to become stable as well
I see.
financially in the Philippines.
Mm.
So I think like that only that I can answer your question.
Thank you, Mr. Eric. Thank you very much for the answer.
Mhm.
And nice to meet you. I
Yeah,
will,
nice to meet you too.
I will pass it to Adriana for further questions.
Okay, no problem.
Hi, hello, Mr. Eric.
Hi.
Adriana, student of Bachelor in International Business. I really appreciate
Mhm.
you would like to spend your time with us today. So I got few questions to ask you. The first
Mhm.
one would be, in the current era, would you say that the Filipino people still adhere to this culture?
Mm, I can say yes, but not yes. how how can I explain that? Okay. I can say but not that yes, because some Filipinos are also already modernized. Some Filipinos grew up with in conformity with how people in the world live. Why? Because of the social media. We are being influenced now by this uh influencers or the people or the things that we watch in social media, and we kind of also being affected by that, and we try to practice that as well, and some form of saying yes. Why? Because as I told, we are 7,100 islands, and some parts of the Philippines are still isolated or not that really reached by the technology, social media, and everything. So some of the cultures are still intact and in there, and most specifically, the indigenous tribes. They have preserved that kind of culture and tradition, and eventually it became like a tourist attraction as well in the Philippines.
Okay, so the next question would be, is there any misunderstanding among Filipinos about the culture that has been applied since ancient times?
Okay, so misunderstanding. I cannot say it's like a misunderstanding now. It's about the evolution. Yeah, it could be understood like a misunderstanding. Why? Because we have the saying, change is constant. So as we are also, I mean, the years are passing by, the culture itself is also evolving according to the recent people who are in the society and in the community. So that culture, it's still there but being enhanced, being becoming a diverse culture already. So the misunderstanding is like, I can definitely say to you, only it will happen between the ages, okay? Senior people and the young people will have this kind of misunderstanding now, and there will be a conflict. So only this thing I can only see the culture clash between the senior people or the old people and the young generation now.
So I think that's all from me. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Eric, for your time. Glad
Mhm.
that we learned something from you today. And I
Thank
would like
you.
to pass to Tari.
Okay.
Um, sorry if I can adding. Actually, in conclusion, Eric, I can say that we have a lot of similarity especially from our early civilization, where it came
Yeah.
from the Arab states, and then from the
Mhm.
culture where India come, China come. And
Mhm.
also we have similarization in colonial time, which is we are bombarded from Japanese.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're
However,
right.
today we love sushi, right? So
Yeah.
that is the funny time.
Don't
And
make
also,
me crave for that.
okay, we can go after this. Okay, then in the beginning when we talking about the indigenous people, right? There is a
Yeah.
Negrito, there is Manyan. You also mentioned there is a Bajau, which is in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Also, we have Bajau people, but they are not considered as indigenous, but they are a part of our ethnic.
Mhm.
So I can see now why our culture are so similar, especially from the food and from the language. Like Tagalog, we have a lot of similarity.
Yeah.
And then I think if we want to go further, it will take more hours and hours to talk about it.
Mhm.
So from all of us, I would like to thank you a lot, because this is very, very, very interesting discussion. Thank you for your time. Sorry, my coughing. I would love to talk more, but we don't have much time because we have limit only 45 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And before we end this, let's have selfie. Shall we?
Okay.
Everybody.
Are we?
Okay, let me. Un momento. Okay. Ready? Done.
Mm.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
Thank you, guys.
We hopefully we can have another session with you, inshallah. So
Inshallah.
that's all for today. But for the group, can we stay a while
Mhm.
and just say hi,
Uh,
bye to Eric?
yeah, I'd like to.
before that, Mr. Eric, I really love the way you speak and the way you answer. It's clear as crystal. I'm really willing to meet you in person.
Yeah, I wish to. I'm very honored to be invited by us, Lisa. Actually, when she really informed me, I was so excited to meet all of you guys because it's gonna be my first time to meet my fellow Southeast Asian people also, and it's really something that I can always remember having this kind of a Zoom, even though it's virtual and conversation. How I wish I would really like you. Maybe who knows, some of you will become the leader of your country where you are very prominent people.
Thank you, Mr. Eric.
So,
Thank you, Mr.
and thank you,
Eric.
thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Mm.
Eric.
Glad to
Thank
have you.
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Eric.